Let's get the daily take as we bring in Geraldo Rivera. I hope nothing bad happens to New York, says the president, who of course is a New Yorker. You know, the shutdown's the longest ever. We just got a headline in, Geraldo, as we can talk about this as well, but a federal judge has just ordered the president to fully fund the SNAP benefits in November. That just came in. You remember the other day we were talking about it, how he's going to partially fund these people on food stamps. So I don't know what that means for whether the government will get open again, but now they're supposed to do it fully, and maybe they'll appeal. But anyway, that's just in as well.
If they appeal, the problem with appealing is it makes it look as if the president, I mean, from the president's point of view, it makes it look as if he is the reason for the suffering. He's the reason. Unless he pays full SNAP benefits, then he's the bad guy. He's the boogeyman. We know, of course, that the reason SNAP's not being paid is because of the government being closed. So I think there's Republicans to blame and Democrats to blame as well. But you know, here the president has been ordered by the court. I don't know that the president has the authority to do that. I guess he can. I haven't thought it through that the president can, you know, conjure money out of thin air or get Congress. I don't think he can get Congress to do anything to help him out.
Well, but apparently the court is saying
this is
that
not
he
nothing.
can,
this is,
as I understand it, and now he could move around this emergency funding, I believe is what they're saying, where he'd been saying, well, we don't have enough there to do that. Now they're saying, no, you should, and got to fully do it in November. I was going to ask you anyway, coming in, if this president is now kind of, I don't know, waking up is the right word, but coming to this idea that affordability, you know, whether it's SNAP benefits, whether it's housing costs in the election here in New York, or whether it's utility bills in New Jersey, that is the issue. And, you know, he was on drug prices was his issue today, trying to bring those down for the weight loss drugs. So is he on board with this issue and realize that Republicans maybe have been losing on that particular issue, affordability?
What is very clear, Connell, is that he understands that the current situation is bad, that he had a horrible day last Tuesday, that it wasn't just New York City, which could be sui generis, could be, you know, on its own, but still, California, the Prop 50, Virginia, New Jersey, every election up and down the board, I don't know that there was a single Republican who won anything. Anywhere, and the president, rather than accepting blame for his own tenure, I guess it's a lot easier to put it off or to maybe to veer subtly into affordability is now his issue. You know, I believe that you know, he is embattled right now. He's got a lot of things going. You know, he was gliding. He was, you know, full speed ahead. Now he's, you know, hit some rocks on the road. I don't know how he gets out of it now. Without the government reopening, right? So they don't have to jigger everything around. Where they don't have to try to find, you know, to fully fund SNAP, where they could just do it, you know, just do it in the ordinary course of business. Instead, they're going through these extraordinary loops, and I'm not sure how this thing ends up, Connell.
You know, what's interesting, you say he was gliding and moving full speed ahead. A lot of that, Geraldo, was on foreign policy, whether it was in Gaza or these other wars, you know, that he says, well, I've ended X amount of wars. A lot of the focus on foreign policy now is not going over so great with some in his base. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example, has been out there a lot talking about this. Blake had her on last night, the America First crowd. Here's the Congresswoman from Georgia. Here's what she said.
I believe the election yesterday was a referendum on not delivering what November 2024 was about. It was about America First. It was about MAHA, and it was about cost of living and putting Americans' issues above everything else. And that has not been the focus for months now.
Yeah, people like her, Steve Bannon, they don't want to hear about Gaza. They don't want to hear about Ukraine. And now the president's getting some pressure from his own side.
First, on Marjorie Taylor Greene, she certainly has come a long way from the Jewish space lasers. You know, suddenly she's the voice of moderation. Right. You know, and bipartisan cooperation in Washington, D.C. You know, it's a stunning turnaround for her I remember it wasn't so long ago with her yelling at Joe Biden at the State of the Union address. They say, AOC says it's because Marjorie Taylor Greene, wanted to run for Senate in Georgia, and the president nixed that. You know, there's an open, or not an open seat, there's a hotly contested election in Georgia coming up next year. But in terms of the sensibility about affordability, you would have to really be real dumb to ignore what the voters have been telling Americans. To the extent that America voted on Tuesday, it's pretty clear that these table issues, these kitchen table issues, are what is driving most people's feelings about how they're doing. And presidents like Americans to feel they're doing well. They don't like Americans to feel that they are beleaguered or broke.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.